In the summer of 1950, a thin intelligence report moved quietly through the offices of the Central Intelligence Agency. It did not announce a discovery. It did not claim a breakthrough. It simply recorded a rumor. The subject was Adolf Hitler. The war had ended 5 years earlier. Berlin lay in ruins. The Third Reich had collapsed, and the official record was clear. Hitler had died in his bunker in April 1945. Yet this document did not speak of the past. It spoke of Argentina, of a man living under an assumed name, of whispers carried across oceans. For the CIA, the question was not whether the rumor was true, it was whether it could be ignored. On April 30, 1945, as Soviet forces closed in on central Berlin, Adolf Hitler retreated into the fur bunker beneath the Reich, Chancellery. By then, the German war effort was finished. Communications were collapsing. Senior officials were fleeing or surrendering. Inside the bunker, witnesses later testified that Hitler took his own life alongside Eva Braun. Their bodies were burned in the garden outside, according to instructions given in advance. When Soviet troops reached the site, they recovered remains believed to be Hitler's. Soviet authorities conducted their own investigations, keeping many details classified for decades. For the rest of the world, the matter appeared settled. But in the early Cold War, certainty was not always enough. The end of the war did not bring clarity. It brought confusion. The Soviet Union released limited information about Hitler's death. Western intelligence agencies did not immediately gain access to physical evidence. Testimonies came from defeated German officials, many of whom had reasons to lie. At the same time, Europe was flooded with displaced persons. Millions were moving across borders. Records were incomplete. Identities were easily changed. This was also the beginning of the Cold War. For American intelligence agencies, uncertainty itself became a threat. If there was even a small chance that a figure like Hitler had escaped, it could not be dismissed without examination. Not because survival was likely, but because the cost of being wrong was too high. The Central Intelligence Agency was formally established in 1947. It inherited fragments of information from wartime intelligence groups. Its early years were marked by limited resources, unclear authority, and a rapidly changing global environment. On Latin America, especially Argentina, U.S. intelligence already had concerns. Argentina had remained officially neutral for much of the war. It had known sympathies with Axis powers, and after 1945, it became a destination for many former Nazi officials fleeing Europe. Some escaped using forged documents. Some received help from informal networks. Others blended into expatriate communities. This created an environment where rumors could thrive. By the late 1940s, Argentina had become a focal point for post-war intelligence chatter. There were confirmed cases of former Nazi officers living there under assumed identities. This was not speculation. It was documented. As these cases surfaced, a dangerous assumption followed. If some Nazis had escaped, people began to ask, why not Hitler? The question was flawed, but it spread quickly. Witness accounts emerged. A German man seen in a cafe, a familiar face in Patagonia, a former soldier claiming recognition. None were verified, but intelligence agencies recorded them. Anyway, in October 1950, the CIA logged a report originating from a trusted informant. The report referenced a former SS member who claimed that Hitler was alive and living in Colombia before possibly moving to Argentina. The document was cautious. It did not assert truth. It did not recommend action. It did not conclude survival. It simply recorded the claim. This is important. Intelligence agencies collect information they do not believe, specifically so it can be evaluated and dismissed. The existence of a report does not imply belief. It implies procedure. In intelligence work, ignoring information is often riskier than recording it. During the early Cold War, American agencies were still learning from past failures. Before World War II, warnings had been missed, signals ignored. This time, the CIA documented even unlikely claims, not because they expected to find Hitler, but because they needed to prove he was not there. The goal was closure, not confirmation. Contrary to popular myths, the CIA did not launch a manhunt. There were no raids, no arrests, no covert missions to capture Hitler. Instead, analysts compared reports, checked identities, and cross-referenced information with known historical facts. The results were always the same: no physical evidence, no reliable witnesses, No credible documentation. Each report ended quietly, filed away. Rumors persist because they offer an alternative to uncomfortable reality. Hitler's death in a bunker, defeated and isolated, felt unsatisfying to some. For others, it felt too easy. The idea that he escaped suggested unfinished business. But history does not operate on emotional logic. It operates on evidence. In the decades after the war, forensic analysis strengthened the historical record. Dental records, examined by Western experts after the Cold War, matched Hitler's known dental work. Witness testimonies, once fragmented, aligned across multiple sources. No credible evidence ever emerged placing Hitler outside Berlin after April 1945. Every serious historical investigation reached the same conclusion. Hitler died in Berlin. The CIA's brief interest in Hitler rumors reveals more about the post-war world than about Hitler himself. It shows how uncertainty shaped early Cold War intelligence, how rumors traveled faster than verification, how institutions documented even implausible claims. The story is not about survival. It is about how fear and caution shaped intelligence culture. By the mid-1950s, the CIA stopped recording Hitler survival rumors altogether. There was nothing new to investigate, no leads, no evidence, no reason to continue. The case did not close with drama, it closed with silence. History is not a mystery novel. It does not always end with revelation. Sometimes it ends with confirmation. The CIA's secret files do not suggest Hitler escaped justice. They show how thoroughly the modern world learned to question even its darkest certainties. Rumors fade, documents remain, evidence endures, and sometimes the truth is not hidden. It is simply quieter than the myth.